Hi everyone, I'm Kanika Rawat. Welcome back to my channel sportscholar.edu. Today we are covering the subtopic of Unit 2 Olympic Value Education. We are going to study about modern Olympics today. In my previous video, I have taught you ancient Olympics. If you want to watch that video, I have pasted the link in the description box below. You can at any time revisit that as well. So let's begin with the modern Olympics. So when we talk about modern Olympic Games, who started it? It was started by Pierre Barre de Coubertin of France. He belonged to France. Now there must be, in many books it is written Pierre, many books it is written Barre de Coubertin, many books it is written only Coubertin. So please do not get confused with this terminology because the whole name of this person is Pierre Barre de Coubertin. So like any other person, he also holds a very good academic background. He also had few aspirations, few thoughts as to how his future will be like. So he was interested in studying political science, wherein while studying political science, it gave him an insight about the national and international problems which are arising. So he was quite interested in that and he wanted to resolve these problems. And since the people already had an exposure to the ancient Olympics which were there, he wanted to revive that culture. So that's why when he started these Olympic game, it was called as modern Olympic game. For that, what he did, he called upon a first meeting in 1893 where he called upon countries wherein only Italy, Greece, Spain and Sweden came in favor of this, that yes, we can start the modern Olympic Games. The rest were not agreeing that much. So again, he called up a meeting, organized his thought, called up a meeting, second meeting on 16 June 1894, wherein here now 13 countries participated. There were 75 representatives who participated. And since it was a Coubertin's idea, so the meeting was presided by him. Earlier, the ancient Olympic game, no such duration or a gap for the Olympic Games were being fixed. But in this meeting, they decided that every 4 years, these Olympics will take place and every nations will be invited. So what happened in ancient Olympic? It was just limited to the Pan-Hellenic race, but here they opened the platform to all. So the first modern Olympics took place in Athens, 1896, wherein 9 countries participated. And now you can see that over a period of time, people started getting interested towards it, or I must say countries started getting interested towards it. In 1972, Munich, Western Germany, when the Olympics were held, there were 122 countries who participated. And there are, apart from these years, students, you should remember these years when the meeting were held, when the first time the modern Olympics were started, how many countries participated. You should remember the year for the Munich Olympics. Apart from this, there are few more important years which you should remember are that the Olympics were not held due to 2 world wars. And what were the years were? 1916, as you all remember, the First World War took place, 1940 and 1944. Now, this was a duration when it was not held, but there was a duration when it was held prior to the 4-year gap. And it was marked as the 10th anniversary of these modern Olympic Games. It was held in the year 1906. You can write it down, jot it down anywhere. It's very important that the 10th anniversary of modern Olympic Games was celebrated in the year 1906. Then there is another 2-liners which you can see on my PPT up that is very important because in books which have been published nowadays, so it has been written that the next Olympics will be scheduled in 2020 Tokyo, but according to the update by IOC, the Indian Olympic Committee, and seeking the current COVID situation, COVID outbreak which is there, they have rescheduled the Olympics. And again, after so many years, this thing has happened that it has been rescheduled to 23rd of July 2021. So if anyone asks you when were the things being rescheduled, so the Olympics have been rescheduled in past during the World Wars, 1916, 1940, 1944 when it was not held, and after that gap it was rescheduled. Then it was preponed 1906 due to the 10th anniversary. Then it was again postponed on 23rd July 2021 due to the COVID outbreak. Next thing to remember is the Olympic motto. Now this Olympic motto is given by Father Didon in 1895. Remember the year and the person who coined this motto. And what was the motto? It was Situs Altis Fortis, which means faster, higher, stronger. And mind it, student, you have to remember it in the order it is given. It's not that I remember it in a haphazard way. It has to be remembered in a way it is given. Next is the Olympic flag. Pierre de Coubertin again plays a very vital role here, a very important contribution. He gave the suggestion of the creation of the Olympic flag in the year 1913. But mind it that this flag was inaugurated in Paris in June 1914. And it was first time hoisted in the Antwerp Olympic Games 1920. So what is this flag? This flag is made up of white silk containing 5 interlinked ring or circles, which symbolizes what? Cooperation and friendship. Rings also represent 5 continents, that is Africa, America, Asia, Australia and Europe. Each ring has different color: black, blue, yellow, green, red. So, but there is an order of placing this ring. So there are these 5 rings. So it is being placed like blue, yellow, black, green, red. And mind it, many people have this doubt in mind. They feel that these rings, the color of the rings represent the continent. No, it is not like that. Coubertin never said that these color of the ring represents any country. So make sure that you never write these kind of statements when you are answering a particular question. Then comes the Olympic flame which was there. Now the Olympic flame, what does it symbolizes? It symbolizes knowledge, life, peace and happiness. Now this Olympic flame, or we also call it as Olympic torch, is kindled in the Olympic village of Greece. So you see, they have not still forgotten to again go back to that Olympia village. So it is very important for the flame to be kindled at the Olympic village of Greece, and then it is carried through runners to the place where the Olympics is being held, and it should be burning throughout that process. So it should not be extinguished. It should only be extinguished when it reaches its destination, and when it is not just the destination, it is extinguished when the games come to an end, when the closing ceremony is there, then this flame is extinguished. So can you see the importance of the flame? It is kindled from where? The Olympic village of Greece. Then it is taken by the runners throughout, and it reaches to the place where Olympic is being held. It should be burning till then. It is not being extinguished till the end of the game. When there is a closing ceremony for the game, then this flame is being extinguished. So I am sure it's clear to you. The next we have is Olympic awards. Now what are these Olympic awards? Earlier in ancient Olympics, what happened for these awards? They were given that olive leaves crown. At that particular time, barter system was there, so food, grains and all these stuffs were given. But since it is a modern Olympic, so here what happens is the first position holder is given a gold medal, second a silver medal, third a bronze medal, and the next 5 position holders are given certificates. If you have ever watched Olympic game, you must have also seen that when the person receives the first position, whichever country wins, their national anthem is also being played during that particular time when their flag is being hoisted up. So you can imagine it's such a proud moment for that particular country, for that particular athlete itself. Next thing which is there is Olympic oath. Now, when is this Olympic oath taken? Obviously, if it's an oath, it will always be taken at the start. So the Olympic oath is taken during the opening ceremony, where all the athletes assemble in a sports stadium. There is one representative from the host country who comes forward holding this Olympic flag, and the rest competitors who are there, they will hold the flag of their nation and will take their own places or positions. So it is marked that way, that there is a place where the flag bearer of the host country will stand, and there will be a place where the rest of the participating athletes will be standing, the flag bearers will be standing. And then what happens is that the representative will take the oath on behalf of all the athletes. And what all the athletes will do, they will raise their right arm, repeat the oath after him or her, whosoever is taking the oath. And what is the oath like? You should remember this oath also. It says, we swear that we will take part in Olympic Games in loyal competition, respecting the rules, respecting the regulations which govern them, and desirous of participating in them in the true spirit of sportsman spirit, for the honor of the country and the glory of the sport. So that's a beautiful oath, and it is taken by the representative of the host country, and rest repeats it. Now, like any other games, like ancient Olympic, even this had its own rules and regulation. Here, mind it, in ancient Olympic, what was there? The females were not allowed to participate or even see the competition. Here, the male as well as female can participate in Olympic Games. Here, it's not just limited, it is open to both professional and amateur to participate. And the only thing which is there, which is very important, is that the name of the sport person, whosoever is participating, should be recommended by the National Olympic Committee. For example, in India, we have IOA. We'll be reading of it ahead. It is called as the Indian Olympic Association. So, Indian Olympic Association permits the athlete from India to participate in that Olympic competition. So once we have read about the rules of the competition, then we have the opening ceremony of Olympic Games. Now, how is this opening ceremony taken place? As we discussed previously when we were reading about the Olympic flame, that the Olympic torch or flame is lit through sun rays in Olympic Village. So this was not mentioned in when we were discussing the Olympic flame, about the Olympic flame, that it's through direct sun rays. It's a place over there in Olympic Village where through the direct sun rays that particular Olympic flame is lit, and from there this Olympic torch or a flame is taken and brought to the city where the Olympics are going to be held. Now the Prime Minister or the President of the host country, like suppose if it is here in India, Mr. Narendra Singh Modi, who is our Prime Minister, will be the one who will declare the games open in the stadium. So before this process, all the sport persons, before we start off with all this process of flame, the oath and everything, all the sport person takes a march past, then they go ahead, takes the oath. Later on, there are recreational or cultural games which are being organized, and Olympic flag is then being hoisted, and Olympic flame of the stadium is finally kindled by the torch which has been carried from the Olympic Village to the place where the Olympics are going to be held. So this was there about the opening ceremony. Now the closing ceremony. किसी भी चीज़ का whatever thing starts will also have an end. Similar to the modern Olympic game, the closing ceremony, all the sports person from all the countries assemble in the stadium. The mayor of the city, whosoever is the mayor, and the president of the managing committee escorts the president of IOC to the stadium, International Olympic Committee, IOC stands for, to the stadium. The president of IOC declares the game closed. So mind it, when we were reading back what it says, then when it is started, it was started by the president or the prime minister of the host country, and when it was ended by the president of IOC. The Olympic flag is then lowered and it is given to the mayor of the society. Again, like in the start what we read, recreational games were organized. At the end also, recreation game will be organized. Here what we read, that the Olympic flame or the torch will be lit. Here what will happen, it's a closing ceremony, the Olympic torch will be extinguished. The games will come, games comes with the end with the Olympic song. So there's an Olympic song there. So these games comes in end with that particular Olympic song. So that was all about modern Olympic Games. Now time for question and answer round. So when we talk about the question and answer round, like I have always said that the 3 marker and 5 markers, you should always remember the word limits. For the 1 markers, it is usually MCQ. So you will not face a lot of problem there if you have read the content nicely. For a 3 marker, the minimum word limit which is there is 80 words. For a 5 marker, the minimum word limit is 150 words. So you should always make sure that you are satisfying the minimum word limit. For example, if I ask you a question from here that write modern Olympics in detail, introduction for modern Olympics, that which year it was started, who started it, and like you can write about the meetings, and you can write about the year it was stopped due to world wars, and then the 10th, about the 10th anniversary which took place in 1906. Then you can write about in detail about the opening and closing ceremony. Like suppose if you don't meet the word limit and you are writing very precise about it, then you can also add on either the Olympic motto, the Olympic award, and the rules of the competition. It will always be good in a 5 marker if you write each and every content in a very short and precise manner, especially the Olympics opening, closing ceremony, motto, and the introduction part have to be written. For a 3 marker question, again you can write the introductory part, you can write the opening and closing ceremony part. There are sometimes that we forget each and everything in a opening and a closing ceremony part. Then you can also write there about the rules, awards of the competitions, the motto, the flag. So there are a lot of things to be written. It's only how you organize yourself in the priority basis, and the introduction will be important whether it's a 3 marker or a 5 marker. In similar way, there are 1 markers which can be made out of the questions, out of the slides which I had shown you previously also. Like I can ask you a question, who started modern Olympics, and there can be 4 options among it, the one option can be Pere Baradei Coubertin, and that's the right answer for it. I can give you options like which among the following was the year when the first modern Olympics was started, or the where the Olympic was started. So there can be 4 options there, 3 wrong answers and 1 right answer can be 1896 Athens. Then you should also remember the years when it was not held, because that can be asked in a 1 marker. I repeat again, you should also remember that which was the 10th anniversary year of the modern Olympics, and you should be aware of when is the next Olympics will be held. So you should remember the first time the modern Olympics were held and the next year when the modern Olympics will be held. So this is how we usually find out the 1 marker questions from in between lines. If you go through my slides, you will find the main pointers there. You will be able to answer the 3 marker and a 5 marker as well. If in case students you want that I should make a video for sample 3 markers and 5 marker question, do comment me in the comment section below, so that I'll make a separate video of how to answer the questions which are there. So thank you so much for watching. Stay home, stay safe, and stay tuned. Apology for uploading this video late due to some hectic schedule. I couldn't do it, but next video I will be updating soon. I'll make sure that I upload a new video each Sunday. So stay tuned. See you all in the next video.